As we get ready to spend our morning moments with Jesus today, I just want to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Pray you grab yourself a cup of coffee. If you drink coffee, get into your favorite place. I say that quite often to just kind of set the mood and tone for the day. You know, sometimes we just get up and rush so much that we don't take the time to just take a little time, not only to spend a little time with Jesus, but to spend a little time for ourselves. Self-care is very, very important. And over the years, I've learned that taking care of myself helps it gives me the ability to help take care of others and do the things that I need to do during the day and serve the Lord. But you got to start with taking care of yourself. So this morning, just allow yourself a few minutes to just relax and meditate upon the Word of God this morning as it comes to us through 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse number 4, and then we'll be talking a little bit in Galatians here in just a few moments. The Word of God said, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds." If you're like me, there's a good chance that at some point in your life, you've had someone who has said something to hurt you. It's been hurtful when they said anything to you or about you. Maybe it's a sharp word, a half-truth, or maybe even an outright lie. But if we're honest, our first instinct, if we're not careful, is to fire back with our own words, to defend ourselves in anger, or to make sure the other person feels the sting of what they did to us. See, that's a natural response. But this morning, the Lord is speaking to us about using the wrong weapons. And Paul reminds us here in 2 Corinthians 10:4 that the weapons we've been given are not worldly. They aren't rooted in human nature, harsh words, or even cutting retaliations. See, we often pick up the wrong weapons without even realizing it because it's our nature. We swing gossip like it's a sword. We load our mouths with accusations like they're arrows pointed in somebody's direction. We set traps of silence, bitterness, resentment, as though there's some kind of shield that protects us in some way. See, but God never handed us those kinds of weapons. They may feel strong at the moment, but you know as well as I do, they can never pull down a stronghold. They can never heal a heart. And they will never, ever glorify God. But instead, He gave us something that looks much softer to the world, but it's powerfully stronger in the Spirit. And Paul goes on to describe it, as I told you a while ago, in Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. Listen to what he says. "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." Have you ever looked at the fruit of the Spirit as a weapon? Notice that the word fruit is singular here. It's not that we are meant to pick one and choose one that applies to us at any given time. No, love without patience doesn't look much like Christ. Peace without faith, well, that'll crumble under pressure every time. See, all 9 qualities here work together as one. That's why it's called fruit of the Spirit. And together they form a powerful spiritual weapon against the schemes of the enemy. Once you think about that for a minute, Satan's desire is not just to attack you, it's to provoke you. It's to drag you down into operating in the flesh like whoever's attacking you is. But when you respond with anger, when you return evil for evil, you've already traded your heavenly armor for earthly weapons. That was never God's plan. But when you stand in the fruit of the Spirit, what you're doing, you're resisting Satan at the very deepest level. See, love cuts through hatred. You know that. Joy, it disarms despair. And that peace, well, it'll quiet chaos every time. Patience overcomes anything that tries to provoke you. And gentleness will always diffuse hostility. And we know that goodness shines even in the darkest situations. You just can't beat the goodness of God. See, faith lifts you above what the enemy is trying to tell you, which is a lie. Meekness reveals true strength that's under control. And this word temperance, well, it'll keep you steady when the enemy wants you out of balance. And that's what he tries to do, is get all of us out of balance. Yeah, the world says fight fire with fire. But Jesus calls us to fight fire with living water. The goal is not to destroy those who hurt us. The goal is to bring them face to face with the same God that delivered us. See, that person who wounded you with words or actions, they're not the real enemy. The devil would love for you to forget that and to spend your energy and your time fighting people rather than praying for people. Paul's words remind us that strongholds aren't torn down with sarcasm or bitterness. They come crashing down when God's Spirit works through us. The fruit of the Spirit, well, it may not look much like a powerful thing to the natural eye, but it's mighty through the eyes of God. See, they are heaven's weapons, not the world's. And every time you choose love over hatred, patience over irritation, and gentleness over anger, you are standing in the power of Spirit, and that the devil can't stand that or withstand that when you stand in the power of God's Spirit. So this morning, next time you're tempted to pick up the world's weapons, stop and remember this. You've been given something far better than that. You've been given the fruit of the Spirit. So live in it, walk in it. Live in the moment. And let God use them through you to pull down all those strongholds. Not only in your life, but in the life of those around you and even those who are coming against you. Don't fight battles with weapons God never gave you. You won't win many victories. You won't win any victories if you're fighting with weapons that God never gave you. Instead, reach for the fruit of the Spirit, for in those qualities is the strength we have to overcome anything the devil tries to do to us. Your words, your actions, your response, they're never just reactions. They're opportunities. Opportunity to display the power of Christ living inside of you. So today you be safe, you be strong, and you be blessed. Stop using the wrong weapons and pick up the ones that God has ordained from the foundation of the world. They've never failed. And watch what God can do, not only in your life, but in the life of others as well. Lord's will, we'll see you back here again tomorrow. And until then, you have a great day.